This is the Good Neighbor Podcast, the place where local businesses and neighbors come together. Here's your host, Brandon Andrus Green.
Welcome to the Good Neighbor Podcast Live. Are you looking for an organization that's investing in the next generation and helping young people grow in confidence, character, and purpose? Well, one might be closer than you think. Today, I have the pleasure of introducing your good neighbor, Chris Beach with Tulsa Youth Works. Hey, Chris, how's it going?
Good to talk to you today. Doing good. Just dropped off the last kid for our 10-week summer camp. Just halfway through week number 4.
Wow. And how many weeks total will there be?
Yep, it'll be 10 weeks. And so the first week is the teen training. We take North Tulsa teens and other teens that join us and teach them how to work with the kids during the week. And then the last week of camp is those teen celebration, helping those teenagers, just seeing what they learned all summer and, how they're coming in their personal life, how they come in their growth. So we love the middle weeks with all the elementary school kids, and we love the teens who are there all summer, but especially their training and their celebration.
Nice. Well, we're excited to learn all about you and Tulsa Youth Works. Why don't you tell us about the organization and the work you do?
Yeah, so our big focus is North Tulsa. We're very strategic in everything we do. Everything we do has multiple purposes at once. The big stats we work with are in North Tulsa, 58% of the kids drop out of school starting in 4th grade. And that's because 88% of third graders can't read. And so obviously reading is big, but also it's home life, it's poverty issues. 8 out of 9 kids have no father in their home in North Tulsa. That's a big thing. Those moms are pretty overwhelmed, and they need all the extra support and help they can get. So the kids, 25% of the kids in North Tulsa go to bed hungry at night, and those are the kids we work with. And so all throughout the year, 10-week summer camp, 30-week after school program, fall break, Christmas break, spring break camp, they get 2 meals a day. And so, and really good healthy meals, and we take care of their health and everything. But also we want to teach kids not only how to learn how to read and, not drop out of school, but we want them to learn how to be leaders now so that when they grow up, they're the future of North Tulsa. And so for us, it's really big. How do we teach kids how to lead right now? And the other big problem we have in the community is the average Black male in North Tulsa dies at age 54 due to type 2 diabetes and high blood pressure. So not only do we teach the kids how to prevent and overcome childhood obesity, but we actually teach them everything they're learning. How do they teach other people in their community how to change their health? So that's a big thing with us. We'll be launching this year the mobile pizza and produce trolley. The kids have been practicing it. They've been doing everything with the trolley training wise, but they're going to be going to the 10 largest low income apartments and really ministering to folks, helping them learn how to exercise, eat healthy, learn nutrition education, how to cook healthy, how to garden, all those things to change their health.
Wow. Chris, tell me, how'd you get involved in this type of work?
Well, God got a hold of me 30 years ago. I had a pretty rough life until 30 years ago. I snuck out of the house with a girl I lived with, chased after this gorgeous woman named Anna, chased after her into First Methodist downtown. And, that's how God got a hold of me. You sign the visitor card, you get busted for sneaking out when they come visit you. And, anyways, and her and her family just loved on me for about 6 months, helped me with all the stuff I was going through. And after 6 months, I said, man, why do you guys keep helping me? I've always worn out my welcome, especially around you Christians. And she said, Jesus Christ leads my life. I said, what? Man, you said that in New York, they put you in a funny farm. You really let Jesus lead you? And so I gave God a shot. I said, all right, God, I'll do what that pastor says. I call upon the name of Jesus. Forgive me for everything I ever done. I forgive everybody who done me wrong. God, make something out of me, man. And so anyways, God gave me that beautiful woman as a wife. We've been married for 29 years. This fall, August 31st will be 30 years. And we quit our jobs, went full-time into ministry. We trained 340 churches in Tulsa how to help messed up dudes like me. And so we started Good Samaritan Health Services, partnered with Dr. John Crouch in His Image, partnered with a guy named Mark Haney and Lonnie Vaughn and these other guys start car care clinics. We started the Community Share House, the Furniture Bank of Tulsa County, and just one thing after another. We started a lot of ministries. Well, then the United Methodist District couldn't find a pastor for one of their historic black churches, Wesley Chapel. Started in 1910, burned down in 1921. And but 18 years ago, there was they couldn't find another black pastor for it. And they'd really plummeted over the years. There is a lot of great people there, but there's only 20 folks left. The youngest person was 61. And long story short, God had us to reach out to the kids in North Tulsa with pizza and basketball. And we're like, pizza and basketball, why, God? Well, anyways, now we see it very clearly. So we started a 10-week summer camp back then, and we grew really fast. And the guy who started all the Mazzios around the country, a guy named Mark Long, helped us to build the pizza factory with the kids.
Wow.
So they learned how to make pizzas, go out under the bridges, give out free pizzas to the homeless and pray for folks. And that's a really big help because a lot of North Tulsa kids go through a lot. And so a lot of them have a victim mentality. And so, but when they go under the bridges and they see people worse off than them, they're like, wow, okay, these people got it worse than me. I can help. I can be a leader. And so it changes their whole mentality. The victim mentality just melts away. And they very quickly learn how to step up to learn how to lead their own community, even as kids. But also the Oklahoma City Thunder NBA team came out, built a big, beautiful Thunder court for the kids. So that's right. We focus on pizza and basketball. We teach them how to eat, cook and eat healthy pizzas and exercise daily. They do arts and crafts, Bible studies, different things. But then 6 years ago, we got a 20-acre ranch. And so teach kids how to take care of horses, sheep, goats, donkeys, pigs, a whole bunch of animals. They have indoor and outdoor gardens. We do regenerative farming. We've learned a lot from a ministry, a group called Fresh RX with a credible lady named Erin Martin. And so the kids learn how to grow healthy vegetables. They make healthy pizzas. They make pickles and produce boxes. And they really changed the health of our North Tulsa community.
Dang, that's awesome. So, Chris, what would you say are some of the myths or maybe misconceptions people have about serving youth in our community?
Well, it's the same misconception I probably used to have. When I first became pastor of Wesley, I told you there's no kids at first. And so I'd bring my 7-year-old daughter, Allie, and Miss Ivy one Sunday she brought her grandson, Joshua Ivy. And so we had the church just had a retreat, and we felt like God wanted us to start a summer-long camp. And I told everybody, I said, hey, guys, you know what? My job as pastor, I'm not the paid Christian. My job is to equip you for the works of the ministry. That's the job of a pastor, is to equip everybody in the church to do the works of the ministry. And I said, somebody needs to step up as the director. None of the adults did. And the following Sunday, I said, hey, I'm not going to sit down until somebody steps up. And nobody would. And so my daughter, who is 7, she came up to the pulpit. She said, Dad, is that the program to help all the kids? And I said, well, yeah, why? And she faced the church. She said, I'll be the director. And I was like, oh, my gosh, how do I tell my baby girl you can't run a summer camp? But then I had that quick idea. I said, okay. I said, would somebody step up to help her be summer camp? Because I thought they'd be our leader and she'd be a cute little helper. But none of the adults did. This sweet little girl named Destiny had just walked in, a little African-American girl, just walked in from the street, sat in the back pew. Her name was Destiny. And she said, I'll be a director with her. And Destiny was much older. She was 9. And I was like, oh my gosh, what am I going to do with this? And I think it's a sin to bore kids in church. They learn differently than the adults do. So I'm walking the kids to the back room where my wife, Anna, was doing children's church. And I said, Lord, what do I do about that? And God said, you help these kids be successful running their own camp. I said, their own camp? They're kids. How are kids going to run a camp? So after church, I brought the kids in my office, got a flip chart out. I said, all right, kids, I don't care what the adults want to do anymore. You guys are in charge. What do you want to do with your summer camp? And Allie said, well, we want to teach all the kids about Jesus. I said, yay. Okay, that makes my job much easier. Okay, so I wrote that on the flip chart. And then Joshua, he said, we want to go on a field trip every day. I said, Joshua, this is a 10-week summer camp. And back then we were Monday through Friday. Now we're Monday through Thursday. But I said, Joshua, that's 50 field trips. He said, you said this is our camp. I said, oh my gosh. So I wrote 50 field trips. And I said, oh my gosh, guys. And I said, okay, guys, how many 15-passenger vans are we going to need to pick up all these kids? We didn't even know we had to pick them up back then. We just knew we had to get them to a field trip every day. But then later we learned that 78% of the people in North Tulsa have no car. So 18 years in a row, we pick up the kids every day and bring them to camp, rotations, breakfast, lunch, all this stuff, every afternoon at 1:00. For 18 years, we have never missed a field trip. 1 to 3 o'clock every day, all summer. So it used to be 50 field trips a summer. Now it's Monday through Thursday. So it's 40 field trips a summer. And even during COVID year, we didn't miss a single field trip. And so anyways, but we taught kids how to lead. We taught them how to plan that first year, how to develop the plan, how to raise the funds, how to do everything. And I mean, they when meals come in, they count off the meals, they serve the kids, so we just learned that kids can lead. And it's probably the biggest lesson to me first, because I honestly didn't think kids could lead. Now I'm like, oh my gosh, how did I think that? So it's actually pretty empowering. And the creative ideas that these kids come up with is pretty shocking. It's pretty cool.
Oh, I bet. So we all know that getting the word out there is really important, whether it's a ministry or a business, really any sort of organization. So what's Tulsa Youth Works doing to get the word out and to try to reach some of these families, connect with some of these families on the north side?
Well, we do a lot. We have an annual gala every year that obviously a big part of that's raising funds so that we can do what we do, because no kid has ever had to pay for camp, because we focus on the poorest of poor kids in all of Oklahoma. And so all the kids need scholarship. Otherwise, they wouldn't be able to come. Even if we tried one summer, partnered with Asbury United Methodist, and they said, hey, we'll give you $18 a kid if the parents come up with $2. Parents couldn't even come up with that much. And so all these years we do it for free. So we have a gala coming up November 7th, and that's obviously to raise money, but also it's out here at YouthWorks Ranch, so people get to meet the kids, they get to learn more about us. So that's a big way. We have a golf tournament, by the way, September 14th at Battle Creek. So people can come up, meet us too there while they're playing golf, having fun. But also, people just call us up. It's tulsayouthworks.org is our website. They go on the website. There's a volunteer button they can click. Come on out. I'll give them a tour of the ranch, give them a tour of the pizza factory. And if they want to come out and volunteer, we just set them up for the times that work for them. And but they all come. I always put my number out there for everybody, 918-734-0471. My number's out there everywhere. About 8,000 homeless folks have my number too. So people can always call me, and if they want to come out, give them a tour and see if they want to come out and help.
That's excellent. Chris, have you ever thought about doing your own podcast?
Not until I saw you do yours here. I've never had that thought, but yeah, when doing yours, I was like, man, check this out. This is so cool. That might be today. I'd have to have a good coach like you to teach me how to do it, though.
Yeah, it helps, huh? So, Chris, tell our listeners before you go one thing they should remember about Tulsa Youth Works.
Everything. Well, the name says it all. It's how do we help youth learn how to work? In our community, a lot of the kids, there's the unemployment rate in North Tulsa, not the regular unemployment rate. That's about 12.5% compared to Tulsa, which is 3.5%. But the percentage of people aged 16 to 65 who are not employed, because remember, unemployment rate is just who's still collecting unemployment benefits, but age 16 to 65 who don't have a job is 66% in our community. And so kids, they look at their parents, they see their parents, and they think, I'm never going to get a job. I'm just going to get me a check, And so we really teach kids how to work. We serve, how to run the ranch, how to run the pizza factory, how to go out and bless and encourage other people. So it's really helping them develop responsibility, work ethic, learn how to read, pursue their career dreams. We ask all the kids what their what their dreams are. We bring in dream professionals who are living out those dreams already and get to meet with the kids. The kids get to ask them 21 questions about their life and their career and everything. And so it changes a whole kid's forever destiny. Not only salvation, forever destiny, but it changes their adult destiny. Instead of being in poverty and sitting around and doing nothing, we teach our kids how to be leaders and live out their career dreams.
Amen.
So we love it when volunteers come out all sorts of different ways. Families can come out. A lot of surprisingly, a lot of ministries don't let families come out, but that's a big thing for us.
Yeah, that sounds great. Chris, I really appreciate you being on this show. I wish you and Tulsa Youth Works the best moving forward. And thanks once again for the work you're doing for our young people, our families, and our community. It means a lot.
Thank you. Thanks for the opportunity. Bless you and bless all your listeners. I appreciate you guys.
Thank you.
Thank you for listening to the Good Neighbor Podcast. To nominate your favorite local businesses to be featured on the show, go to gnptulsa.com. That's gnptulsa.com or call 918-301-6356.